So you're looking at empty space and imagining him running around or, you know.
wearing a little therapist
jacket. So you're looking at...
Thank you guys very much for taking time today to chat about Ted. I've gotten to watch a lot of the show, and it's really, really fun. It's really funny. I really, really enjoyed it. Does it ever get weird acting with a talking bear? I mean, is Ted, what would you say Ted is like on set?
Not there.
Non-existent.
Oh!
Empty space. He's a void. I mean, Seth is there doing the lines.
No, Seth is
which
there
is
reading
very
the lines.
helpful.
Oh, is that true?
Yes.
Yes, and he's doing it full, you know, energy, fully in character. So it's not hard for us to envision him, but he is not there actually. Yeah. So you're looking at empty space and imagining him running around or, you know,
wearing a little therapist
jacket. And so it's it's a trip, but it ended up being really cool. And Seth was a huge part of that.
That's so cool. So does Seth do kind of like he's Seth and then he's Ted? Like, do you have to get used to like him being two different people, or does it always just feel like Seth, a version of Seth?
I think what you have to get used to is Seth being in a different place than you need to be looking.
Okay.
That's the thing that took a second. Because you're looking at the bear, or where the bear's supposed to be, and Seth's over here doing the lines. And a lot in like the first few weeks, and then every so often as we continued with shooting, he would say something and you'd be like, you want to deliver your next line to where Seth actually is.
Yeah, it was messing us up for a little while. But I think that you get used to also him kind of just coming in and out. He's just so good, and he's known this character for so long, and he's developed it so, you know, geniusly. And so it's like he'd just pop in and out, you know, and then he'll be like, what's up, guys? You know, like, and then he'll be Ted.
He'll be Ted, and then he'll be like, if you could just like shift ever so slightly to your left as Seth.
Yeah. So crazy.
Well, he's an incredible writer, and the writers that have crafted these episodes are phenomenal. But I am curious if there's much improvisation at all. Did you get an opportunity to maybe go back and do a second round at a joke or something like that if you had an idea?
Yeah, there was as much space as we wanted or needed to either go back and try the same joke again, seeing if like changing the delivery or the timing makes it feel better, or if you've got whole cloth, just another idea. There was room to, like, you could go to Seth or one of the EPs and pitch it, or you could just tell nobody and just bring it out in the moment and see what happened. Yeah, exactly.
And you know, there was always room. We would do the take as scripted, and then he'd just be like, all right, now just whatever you want to do.
Give me a silly one.
Yeah. So it was really cool.
Now do it very serious. So, Giorgia, I wanted to ask you about crafting Blaire as a character. Something that I found really interesting about her is that even though this character lives in the 90s and the early 90s, there's a timelessness about her. Like, I feel like that character could exist in any like modern series now and be exactly the same. And I was curious about you know, taking that character from the script to the screen and what that process was like for you. Yeah,
it was so cool, and it was not a hard thing to tackle because Blaire and I are pretty similar in a lot of different ways, but I think that just kind of crafting her from scratch was really exciting. And I agree, though, like I would dress up in her wardrobe and I'd look and I'd say, I want to keep this, like I could wear this today, you know. And I think the progressiveness is something that is definitely, you know, prevalent today. You know, people are very, you know, progressive and forward thinking, and they just don't want to be stuck in the past anymore. So that was pretty easy for me to tap into because it's everywhere right now, and it's, you know, it's a great thing. So yeah, it wasn't too difficult. It was but I thank you for saying that, because I agree. I think there is a real timelessness about her as well, and it's like an honor. It's just an honor to play her.
Well, you did a great job. You both do fantastic. The show is super, super funny. I'm really excited for more people to see it so that I can actually talk about it with somebody. Thank you. Thank you very much for taking time to chat today, you guys. I appreciate it. I'm really, really thrilled to be able to talk to you guys about Ted. I had a chance to watch the episodes, some of the episodes, I think, and it's so funny. It's so much fun. The nature of Maddie and Susan are very, very, very interesting to me. And I wanted to ask you about crafting those characters. Lana, I'd like to start with you. Did you have any specific TV moms or anything like that that you looked back at when kind of deciding how to play Susan? Because I feel like I see so much classic TV mom in her, but also she is incredibly unique.
Well, growing up, I will say this, I sound like a broken record, but I was a latchkey kid. And so when I would go home, I would have this bottomless bowl of Chef Boyardee, and my babysitters were Mr. and Mrs. Jefferson, Benny Hill, and the entire cast of What's Happening, Good Times, and Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. And so those were my babysitters growing up. So that's going to rub off on a little girl, right? And to me, preparing for this, I thought I can't watch All in the Family. I can't watch any of those characters because I will mimic them. I know myself. I'm going to start to mimic them, and then people are going to say, "Why is she doing so and so? That's weird." And it would take people out of Ted. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not watch any of those. My job is to find, to try and find the nuanced little areas, the nooks and crannies of Susan that people haven't seen before. That seems a little more of a refreshing take on those women that we've seen in television. And I hope I accomplished that.
Absolutely, fully agree. I think that the character is very unique. I think that there's a lot of classic TV mom in there, but I also see women I grew up with. You know what I mean? Like I see that. I think about this one lady from church. I think about this woman from church, and I'm like, man, that's she's just like that. Scott, I know that you're from Massachusetts originally, and so I'm curious if Maddie is actually like guys you grew up seeing, maybe your own dad, maybe uncles, maybe dudes in the neighborhood, like because
not my dad, complete opposite of my dad, but
okay,
my dad's friends had, there's people like Maddie everywhere.
Yeah,
it's the accent that just makes him a little different. Not specifically from the Boston area, everywhere.
And what's so ironic is Scott is all heart. He is nothing like Maddie.
That's very sweet of you.
He's just this warehouse of charisma and double face and quite sexy.
Wow.
And dapper, dandy. And he is, but nothing like Maddie. So when you actually see him, with the curly hair and the outfit, and he's,
that had a lot to do with
full
it too.
Focus mode. You're like, who is that?
Yeah.
Who is that?
The mustache and the hair and the weight kind of helped you kind of point and say, oh, I feel bad for this guy. Yeah, you had to feel bad for him in a way. Other than that, why would she be with him?
That's right.
He would be abusive.
Right.
You got to make him funny, real, and a little exaggerated. So no, I didn't look back and go, this is my Uncle John. No, I don't have an Uncle John, by the way. I just know people like this exist, and I just wanted to make him as loud as possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is, and they're a great couple, and the way that all of you interact is fantastic. I also want to say that as a big Orville fan, it was very nice to see the sort of mini reunion you get to have there with Penny on set, and then Giorgia and Max.
That's Seth, and that's Seth just working with family. That's him just keep it going. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you guys for taking time to chat today. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.